Team Germany has made it to the finals of EuroBasket 2025. Let's break down Franz and Tristan's game to see how they contributed to the win and how it'll impact the Orlando Magic moving forward. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube. For Magic fans, by a Magic fan. I'm Edwin Valentine, and I want to thank you very much for clicking on this video and spending a little bit of time talking Magic with me. You got to do the normal YouTube things if you're inclined to do so. Hit that like button, share this video, and drop a comment below letting me know how you felt the guys played yesterday. And lastly, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content that I produce. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers before the beginning of the season. All right, let's get started with Franz's stats. So in 32 minutes, Franz scored 22 points on 6 of 19 shooting, 3 of 8 from 3. That's always a good sign. 5 rebounds and 2 assists, plus a steal and a block. Wasn't the most efficient game for Franz shooting the basketball, but his role in the team is the same as it is on the Magic. He's there to score. Obviously, he's also a facilitator and he's a very good passer. So whenever he gets double teamed or the defense is kind of shifted to him with all eyes on him, then he's able to pass the ball out and get his teammates a nice open shot. And we would rather have him be more efficient and score 22 points on 10 shots or 22 points on 12 shots, but it took 19 shots to get there. Doesn't really matter as long as he got the 20 points, because with him and Schroeder, if they're both getting over 20 points per game, Team Germany is going to be very difficult to beat. They are one of the highest scoring teams ever in the history of EuroBasket. So they're doing a lot of good things. Weirdly, the last couple of games, it feels like they didn't come out the gate pretty well, but it's a 40-minute game. And by the fourth quarter is when they are at their best and they're able to pull away from teams. So they have a tough test coming up in this next game. So hopefully Franz has a bit more of an efficient game. But in the end, scoring 22 points, grabbing 5 boards, shooting 3 of 8 from 3, which is the thing that we're likely going to be more excited about just because that's the focal point of what everyone's looking at when it comes to Franz. If he's going to be able to rediscover his 3-point shot, we're going to take this all day, every day. And let's move on to Tristan's game. Now, Tristan had an excellent game. We've talked about multiple times. If you've watched any of my past videos, his role in Team Germany is exactly as his role is in the Orlando Magic. Same with Franz for the most part. Luckily in that way. So that hopefully they're able to slip right into the Magic system coming directly from Team Germany. But in 18 minutes, Tristan scored 13 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, hitting 2 free throws as well, with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. I would want to even focus even more on his defense. He came in and did a great job on marketing. He had help. Obviously, Isaac Bonga and Franz and Tristan all had a turn on guarding marketing. They were able to hold him to 16 points, which is well below his average for the tournament. So in the 2 games that they played Finland, they held him to 11 and 16 points. And a lot of that does go to Tristan's tenacious defense. So that's very positive because we're going to need that same level of defense and the same level of aggression on defense with our second unit, because we don't know if the offense is going to come along as we're hoping, but we definitely need to continue having the same defensive intensity that we had last year. And Tristan showed it in this game. Now, whenever you get 13 points or you get double digits from Tristan, you're going to be excited, especially in 18 minutes. The exciting part of the 18 minutes and the 13 points is, of course, the 3-point shooting. He's shooting 50% in this tournament. You're going to see a little later on his overall stats for the EuroBasket so far. His jump shot, at least through this tournament in the small sample size, he's been hitting it. So all throughout the 6 prep games, as well as the 8 games they've played so far, he's been able to continually hit the 3-point shot, not only from the corner, which is great because that's something that if you would have seen my player profile on Tristan, I was focusing on ensuring that he stayed in the corner because that's where he shot the best last year. Of course, we want development and we want him to have a wider range of 3-point shots and have his shot portfolio expand as much as possible. So in the end, it's been pretty good to see him hitting some shots above the break, hitting some shots at the top of the key. Very exciting stuff from Tristan. Now let's have a recap of their tournament so far. Franz in his 8 games is averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on 46% shooting overall, 31% from three. It's better than 29%, and 85% from the free throw line. You see in the last 3 games that are highlighted there, he hasn't been as efficient as he was in the group stage. So that's the one, let's say, knock on his tournament so far. But again, the big thing is that he scores 20 points, or that he continues to score however many points he gets, but he continues to have an imprint in the game, continues to force the action, continues to play up tempo. That's all Team Germany is looking for from him. So of course, we want it to be a bit more efficient, but all that matters is that he's getting the points. And to go over to Tristan, Tristan in his 8 games is averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game on 56% field goal percentage. Obviously, a lot less attempts than Franz. But if you look there, 50% from three, 15 of 30 over the course of the 8 games. 8 games is a small sample size, of course, compared to about 10% of what the entire season will be for the Magic. But 50% in an 8 game span is nothing to sneeze at. If this is what we're going to see from Tristan in the upcoming season, he's going to play a big role off of the bench with the Magic, and that's something that for those of us who are big Tristan fans and see a lot of potential in him, then we're going to be really excited. That plus AB hopefully making a leap as well this season with Tyus running the show in the second unit plus a EuroBasket Goga shows that the Magic have a lot of opportunity for growth on the bench, which is kind of a question mark that we have. I think most of us are comfortable with the starting lineup in that there's going to be plenty of scoring, good enough defense. It's just going to be I think the concern is really the bench and how deep we are when it comes to experienced players who we know what we're going to get from them. We don't really know what we're going to get from all of our players. Tristan is one of them, but hopefully looking at how he played in the summer league as well as the 14 games so far with Team Germany in this offseason, that he's been definitely putting in the work, definitely gaining experience, and shooting 50% for this tournament is excellent. Now let's check the film from the game. So to give a disclaimer for those who haven't seen these before, due to copyright constraints that FIBA puts on the videos, for me to upload them into YouTube, I need to kind of have little breaks in between them, in that I'll run it for a little bit. There'll be a 3-second pause and then I'll run the rest of the play. So it might be a little bit jarring the first time. That's the only way I'm able to get around their copyright restrictions. So we're first going to go with Franz's film and then after Tristan's film. Luckily in this game, Tristan has a good amount of film because he played a bigger role in this game because Halatz rolled his ankle in the last game and didn't play. So Tristan had to be playing, had to have more minutes, and that really helped with his production. So here we go with Franz. It's early in the game. Franz had a very good first half, scoring 20 points. So you're going to see a lot of these from the first half. He's using his good footwork here. He's not really set, but he shoots a fadeaway there. This is more what we're used to seeing Franz do, go through, but that one didn't work out oh so well. He does a little crossover, his little Euro step, misses that one. So right off the bat, he was missing a little bit. When he's coming from the left side, I've mentioned it a few times, it'd be ideal for him to shoot with his left hand just because he's so long and he's able to get to the basket so easily that shooting with his left will really allow him to keep the defender at bay, and it doesn't bring the defender into the play. As you saw on that last play there, the defender was pretty close to it. He did do a little bit of finger roll with the right hand. He just wasn't able to finish. So I contend that he should use his left hand a bit more, which he has done a little bit in this tournament. Now here he is in a straight line drive. Goes over, he's taking on Marketing, goes and just also misses the shot. So he didn't really start off like in the first half. He had 20 points, so he played well in the first half as a whole. But starting in that first quarter, he was a little off, which is something that has happened a little in the first few games of the knockout stages. Now, on the open court, this is where he started to get going. 5 minutes left in the first. Nice dunk there. Get it on the head. Here goes right down again. They're once they got their feet under them, nice and one. Once Team Germany got their feet under them because they were down at the beginning of the game, which is something that's happened in the knockout stages. Hopefully, it doesn't happen against Turkey in the final because Turkey is a good team with a good offense as well. So, so once they were able to get their feet under them, then you saw Franz was starting to make a lot of different plays, and that was a nice little and one with the defender cutting under him to cause the foul. Now here's his first three. Gets the ball right in the flow of the offense, and that's what you want with Franz's three. You don't want him probing back and forth, looking, that little step back three that he does, because once he has the step back, then I don't feel he's set as much. And I think that's sometimes why his 3-pointer isn't hitting, because he's moving his feet, he's not set, he's going from forward to back, and he misses those as well. Everybody talks about the hitch. The hitch is what it is. Like I'm been saying the last few videos, we should just embrace the hitch at this point. It's likely going to be there for a little bit longer. It's way less than what it was to be at the end of last season, which is great. It's just one of those things. I feel he just needs to set a bit better, have the ball come to him through the offense, and then set and shoot. Catch and shoot hasn't been his strong suit, so hopefully it's something that he continues to develop on. So here was in the flow of the offense, shoots his three. It was a bit of a grenade. The reason is he got that one there was because Lowe kind of dribbled the ball too long and there wasn't much going on the offense. And then, of course, Franz's role on this team is kind of Paulo's role on the Magic, in that he has to be the one basically to take that last shot, even if it's a poor one like that one with not much time left on the shot clock or the game clock, and shooting it from way, way deeper than he'd like. So again, here ball goes in. He does his little probing shot, goes back, starts to fade, and misses. Nice little curl action here. Nice out of bounds play underneath again. So creative around the basket. Now see, ball gets kicked out. He still moves a little bit, but he's a bit more set. And he hits that first three. And he started to catch a little bit of fire. See, catch and shoot right on the wing there. Nice form. No hitch. No time for a hitch. Then this one was a bit more I think he was a heat check, a little far away. But another one, I think Finland was trying to give him that shot. And then once he started to hit them, then it was over for them. He's posting up on the smaller guy there, unable to hit. Again, it would be great for him to shoot it with that left hand to keep the defender away. Marketing gets lucky on this one. He was doing a good job of attacking Marketing offensively. It's a little bunny missed in the second half. He missed all his shots in the second half, so spoiler alert, that was going to be a miss. And another one of these grenades with 1 second left in the third period, he launches that one. So now, in the second half, he wasn't really scoring that well. As I mentioned, he only had 2 points, but his defense was very important on Marketing. Here's one of the plays that you see him on Marketing, staying down, staying low, using his body, not reaching, moving his feet, and getting that board there. So I think that's something that he really emphasized in the second half. At that point, it became all about putting on that hard hat, putting on them steel toes, sitting down and playing defense, which was very exciting because we know what kind of defender he is already. It just feels that the NBA as a whole, or the world, looking at him playing for Team Germany, maybe is a bit surprised at how well he plays defensively, that he's not just one of those scorers that don't care about defense. He definitely will put in the work. And as we saw there against Marketing, he's still impacting the game with his defense. which is great because you want your superstars to be impacting the game on both ends, and whenever their shot may not be falling, still getting to the free throw line, which he did in this game. Not as much as he did in the last game, but he still continued to be forceful with the offense, to continue to be the hub in that the ball would go to him and then either he would kick out if the defense was hedging towards him. You're going to see another play coming up that Tristan's going to be the beneficiary of one of those types of plays. And I already spoiled it and with saying that he missed all his shots from the field in the second half. So looking at it here, he has a couple more shots in him in the fourth quarter. Here's a nice little drive from the corner. Again, once he gets off of the corner, hopefully he can shoot a few more threes on there. But misses that push shot. Once he's able to start hitting a few of those corner threes, then he's going to be able to drive better, drive easier from the corner. And that one was not a bad shot. He's doing pretty good at making that mid-range push shot. That one he just missed. Here he's taking on number 19 again, does a step back. Didn't really have the ball set and settled in his hand. So a few too many shots I feel for Franz in this game where he was moving, and I wouldn't say that's his strength when it comes to his jump shot. His jump shot, when he's nice, stable, gets the ball, jumps straight up and shoots, that is the times where I feel he has the most success. So hopefully now he does that in the finals against Turkey. He's able to be a bit more controlled when it comes to setting his feet and squaring up to shoot his jumper. Now over to Tristan. So this is another nice out of bounds play. I believe Randy Gregory from the coaching staff, that is a coach on the Orlando Magic, is in charge of the out of bounds plays. And as we saw, there was a really good out of bounds play with Franz getting an easy basket under the rim. So here's a curl action for Tristan right off the catch over in the corner. Like I mentioned, he shoots well from the corner. Nice, easy three there. And because you're shooting 50% from the field, then you can drive. This one's a little awkward with off the wrong foot, but he still was able to get it to go. That's something that I'd like for him to develop a little bit more as well, is mid-range. If he needs to do the push shot as well, like Franz or what I'm hoping Goga develops before Goga started shooting threes, is to do a little bit of a push shot. It could be a floater technically. I think they're, if it's a big guy, they don't call it a floater. They call it a push shot, but just something like that, which is what he did there, but just off the wrong foot. If he wants to continue that, and if that's the way he shoots it, great. But if he could develop that bit, because what happened there, pump fake, it's going to get the guy in the air and you'll be able to hit a nice little floater. That would be something that would keep the defense guessing at all times, because if the big then thinks you're going to be the one to do a little push shot or a little floater over them, then you'll be able to get past them and get all the way to the rim unimpeded. So let's hope that he continues to develop that part. And there, even though it was a little awkward, he still was able to make that there. As I mentioned about the hedging, this is the play I was talking about. So as you see, the defender that's supposed to be next to Tristan is hedged all the way over to Franz to try to build a wall, because obviously Franz is great at driving the basketball. So that's where Franz, even if he was not hitting his shots necessarily, was still acting as the sun and having a lot of gravity around him. And he was able to pass the ball and be able to get other guys open shots. So Tristan, as you see, he's pretty wide open there. Ball goes out to him. The guy, he's almost able to recover because he's a physical specimen, but Tristan is able to hit that one over. Now, Tristan, as I mentioned earlier, defensively is where I think he excelled in this game. Obviously, 13 points, you're going to be ecstatic about that. 3 of 6 from 3, excellent as well. But I felt it was his defense. He did a great job of walling things up, and also when it was time for his turn to be on Marketing, there's going to be a play on here that you're going to see that he puts on the defensive clinic, really, by moving his feet, making sure he had active hands. He did a great job defensively. So here he's going to cut off the baseline to the defender. This guy was the highest scorer on the team. He's able to cut off the baseline. Then that ended up being a shot clock violation, just because he moved his feet quick enough, was able to cut off the baseline. Then the second defender came and was able to force the turnover. So back on offense, like it was the second time he's pump fake guy off his feet. So again, here he takes on the defender. Ideally, there is where he would have maybe hit a quick little midi so that he doesn't have to go up against the defender. If he had that push shot, then he would have probably had an easy two there. Either way, you see the respect that he's getting by the defenders flying by him, and that's going to be added to his arsenal now. Now, if he's going to continue to shoot, probably not 50% from three in the season, but if he's able to shoot in the high 30s, low 40s, then that little pump fake is going to be enough to get guys to fly by and then make that straight line drive to the basket. Here's another part of the defense, like I mentioned. So now he's singled up on Marketing. Schroeder's thinking about coming over to help out on defense, but he goes, Marketing goes the opposite direction. So it's mostly just going to be on Tristan. Tice is also coming over to help, but it's Tristan moving his feet, cuts off Marketing. Marketing has to spin back, and he keeps moving his feet, and then end up being a travel. So he got another turnover that time on Marketing because he put in the work, kept his hands high, not going. So the show your hands that Mosley says all the time, that's what he did. He did that. So maybe all the time with the Magic is what's really helped his defense because he was a good defender in college, but I didn't see anything like that, especially against an all-star like Laurie Marketing. For him to be putting in that work is just very excellent for us, and it's something that we're gonna hopefully see much more and are excited to see this upcoming season. Again, on defense, Marketing this time is blowing past Tice, and Tristan is there as help defender this time, and he's able to block Marketing's shot. Great defense by Tristan on these. So now we're going to have a couple more shots for Tristan by the end of the game. It wasn't a blowout like he had been playing a lot in the tournament. So these were important shots he was taking. I love the confidence that he takes. As you see here, he's wide open. That's going to be what he is in the NBA this upcoming season with the additional shooters that we have in Desmond and Tyus. He's going to be open. So here, wide open. You see him there. The defenders are going to try to recover. He goes, shoots it with confidence. He misses it. You shoot 50%, you're going to miss half your shots. But you saw he just stepped into it with confidence. And that's the big thing that I'm hoping for this season. Him not blending into the background. All too often last year, he blended into the background and there he would have moved the ball, which isn't a bad play. The only issue is that when you're so wide open, you just need to go and knock down that shot, which you didn't. Now, this one, 13-point lead. Finland was trying to get into the game. There's still 4 minutes left. It was unlikely they would have gotten into the game, but Tristan decided he wanted to close them out and hit the dagger. Dagger. They had to call timeout after that. 16-point lead. Again, they weren't likely going to come back, but that shot was big. Again, coming off the curl action, getting the ball wide open, having the confidence to shoot it. To recap their game, Team Germany got off to a slow start, and as you saw, so did Franz. Franz came out a bit cold for whatever reason. Came and he ended up missing a few of his layups that he normally hits, a few of the shots that he normally hits. So that attributed to the slow start for Team Germany. But once they got their footing under them, then you saw Franz as well. He had that dunk. It seemed like that dunk was able to kind of get him going, and that's what you want to see from your superstars when they're getting off to a slow start, but they continue to shoot, they continue to make plays, they continue to be that facilitator or the one that gets all that gravity, and that's what Franz was doing. So as you saw, he missed a lot more shots than we would hope, and it's just the way it is. So it wasn't the most efficient game, but by continuing to shoot, by continuing to be forceful, he was able to free up his other guys. And again, with that extra responsibility, it makes things easier on them. Him and Schroeder take all the responsibility when it comes to offense. So then these guys are able to just play more carefree, be able to play the defense that they need to, since they may not be the big scorers. And that's what superstars do. So Franz played a good game. not the most efficient game, but he still played a very good game, and that's what you want on offense and defense because he was locked in on defense as well. So that's all that you're going to ask of your superstars is to make sure that they are engaged, they are forceful, they're making an impact in the game. To grade Franz's performance, I feel it was a B plus by him continuing to play offense and defense at such a high level. He really made things easier for the rest of their team, and they still were able to score pretty much at will once they got their footing under them. Tristan, Tristan gets a A plus for me in his role that he has with Team Germany. They really are asking for him to shoot the ball when he's open, to play good defense, and to contribute with ball handling whenever he's asked to do so. He did all of those things in this game at a high level. His defense on marketing helped keep him to 16 points. His jump shot, 3 of 6 from three, is very exciting to see for Team Germany, of course, because it helped them, it helped propel them to the gold medal game. But for Orlando Magic fans, Tristan with a reliable shot, and as you see, making more of an impact in the game in each game is really going to elevate our bench to another level, and that is going to contribute to a very successful season for us this upcoming season. So now we have one more game left. Even more pressure is going to get ratcheted, which is another thing that we're very excited for them to continue to play in more pressure packed games because they played in them last year, especially Franz playing in the playoffs, and Tristan got a little taste, but not so much. So it's invaluable for Tristan to get pressure packed play because he's going to be a key part of our defense. And if he doesn't fade into the background, hopefully he's going to be part of the postseason rotation as well when Franz goes to the bench. If Tristan is shooting as well as he's shooting in this tournament, playing the defense that he's playing in this tournament, it's going to be hard to keep him off the court. One game left for all the marbles, trying to get that gold. I'll be live streaming. So if you want to spend a little bit of time talking magic, I talk magic throughout the whole entire 2 hours. Got to do the normal YouTube things. Hit that like button, share the video, drop a comment below on the video, or let me know what you thought of Franz and Tristan's performance in yesterday's game. And as always, if you're one to do so, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the content that I produce. I want to thank you very much again for clicking on this video and spending a little bit of time talking magic with me. I hope you're having a great day.